Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sheila's big news, Steffy's plan failing, and Carter ignoring hope. According to spoilers for the upcoming 2 weeks of The Bold and the Beautiful, which run from March 10th to March 21st, Steffy Forrester's scheme fails and Poppy Nozawa will have to deal with Lee Finnegan's anger. Here's what BNB fans may anticipate. Sheila Sharp will also receive some very important news. Steffy will be furious with Bill Spencer for releasing Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, from prison and placing her under house arrest during the week of March 10th to 14th. In spite of Steffy's tirade about how risky this is, Bill would not back down from his belief that it is the right thing to do. Bill intended to protect Luna from attacks in the prison, but Steffy will still be upset about their agreement. Even though there might not be anything he can do, Steffy will phone Deputy Chief Bradley Baker, Dan Martin, and attempt to persuade him to take Luna back to the slammer. Even if Luna is permitted to stay under house arrest, Steffy still plans to allow her to meet John Finnegan. But now that she is aware of the truth about Finn's biological father, Luna will not allow him to be removed from her life. Because of this, when Steffy subsequently initiates another confrontation with her, Luna might give it her all. Steffy and Luna's tension should be at an all-time high. Finn will then confess to Lee that he had sex with Poppy and gotten her pregnant. Finn only recently found out that Luna was his daughter through those 2 paternity tests because Poppy had lied to him in the aftermath. When Lee finds out that Poppy slept with Finn when he was younger and more impressionable, she will go completely crazy. It's understandable why Lee will be upset because that was Finn's first time sharing a bed with someone. Aunt Poppy ought to have been more protective and refrain from having an affair with Finn behind Lee's back. Their relationship will never be the same since Lee will even try to strangle Poppy during their impending face-off. Lee might eventually face Luna and Bill because she will also receive updates about Luna being under house arrest at the Spencer mansion. Deacon Sharp will question Sheila on why she seemed to have such sympathy for Poppy. Naturally, when Sheila finds out that Poppy was Finn's first passion partner, that empathy might completely evaporate. Nevertheless, Sheila will undoubtedly be curious to learn that Luna is her granddaughter. Sheila should eventually learn to appreciate this family addition in spite of Luna's errors. This can be Sheila's way of connecting with a relative who genuinely wants to connect with her and understands her. Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, will respond in a way that surprises Hope Logan, Annika Noel, and Daphne Rose, Muriel Hilaire, as further strife erupts at Forrester Creations. Instead of pushing Daphne to leave as Hope desires, Carter can choose to encourage her to remain in Los Angeles. Daphne will remain for a while regardless of the situation. We'll witness Daphne's growing resolve to help Carter realize that Hope is manipulating him. Carter will receive an ultimatum from Ridge Forrester and Eric Forrester, played by John McCook, to consider. Would Carter be willing to make a compromise and give up Forrester authority as a result of this? You can bet Hope will be enraged if that's the case. A separation between Hope and Carter might be imminent because this could be enough to ruin their relationship. Carter and Hope will need to decide how to proceed throughout the week of March 17th to 21st. Hope might be left wondering how it all went wrong as Daphne waits to take Carter for herself. Regarding Steffy and Finn, their marriage might not survive. Steffy might not feel secure enough to stay at the Cliff House with the kids since Luna is residing at Bill's residence. Will Steffy move in with Kelly Spencer and Hayes Forrester Finnegan? Will everyone eventually move into the Forrester estate as Ridge and Taylor Hayes desire? Although our predictions suggest that Finn and Steffy might part ways in the future, Finn will hope that they might reunite. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, there will be a lot of action over the next 2 weeks, so check in. Carter is snooping around Daphne, dirty. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Carter Walton is not the stand-up comedian that everyone believes him to be. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Carter is snooping on Daphne. Despite claiming to be in a committed relationship with Hope, he is obviously searching for the next big thing and sniffing around Daphne. However, for someone like Carter, this appears to be standard procedure. Quinn, who was then married to Eric, was the object of his affair. After his relationship with Zoe ended and Quinn left him, he began an affair with her sister Paris. Carter really left Zoe standing at the altar to chase after Quinn, as if that weren't enough. They fell in love in a matter of days when he informed Hope that he wanted to see her in underwear, and he was all for preserving her line. As our fans are aware, this plotline sparked a lot of discussion among BNB watchers. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful: what will happen to Carter next? Carter is not a good guy, some people even said in their comments. It is absurd that Hope is receiving all the responsibility for the takeover even though Carter was her boss, CFO, pursued her emotionally, came up with the takeover plan, and filed the paperwork. While Carter betrayed Eric a few years ago when he had an affair with Eric's wife, Quinn, another BNB critic stated, yes, Hope deserves blame and accountability, but FC is still giving Carter a pass, blaming all his decisions on Hope brainwashing him. To be honest, he should have been fired from the company years ago for betraying Eric. Additionally, there was this comment, he's sniffing around Daphne now, which is obviously part of her and Steffy's plan, but Carter is supposed to be committed to Hope, but true to form, he falls head over heels the moment a woman looks at him. Nowhere do I perceive integrity. I hope Logan lends Dr. Finn a sympathetic ear. On The Bold and the Beautiful, Dr. Finn would definitely benefit from a companion at this moment. Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, the wife of John Finnegan, Tanner Novlin, has expressed her feelings on her stepdaughter rather clearly. To whom would the good doctor seek guidance? Read on to find out. Here are some spoilers for what will happen next on Bold and the Beautiful. BNB spoilers: are Finn and Hope both unmarried? According to BNB teasers, Hope Logan, Dr. Finn's former closest friend, will soon be taking a tentative step back into the dating world. At Forrester Creations, it's very obvious that Carter Walton's mental collapse is coming to an end. He will soon return FC to the Forrester family, and it's likely that he and Hope will part ways. Carter Walton has been spending a lot of time with Steffy's friend Daphne, as is well known on The Bold and the Beautiful. There are rumors that Carter and Daphne might flee together, leaving Hope unmarried and open to socializing. After Hope Logan attempted to woo the good doctor, Steffy Forrester banned her husband Finn from talking to her rival. The marriage between Finn and Steffy is in shambles, and Steffy has already informed him that he must decide between her and his daughter, Luna Nozawa. Since a storm is approaching and Hope will be back on the prowl, Finn needs a friend right now. BNB spoilers: Finn spark and Hope rekindled. Spoilers for Bold and Beautiful suggest that Hope Logan and Finn might cross paths this month and begin their relationship where they left off. Finn needs someone to talk to about his new daughter and his wife's demands because Hope was his best friend. Is the Shin marriage doomed, in your opinion? Will Finn need a pal and begin to sneak around with Hope once more? Steffy interrupts and warns Luna that she won't see Finn ever again. According to Friday, March 7's recap of The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester stormed into the Spencer estate and threatened to never let Luna Nozawa see John Finn Finnegan again. This is how the events of Friday's BNB episode unfolded. Daphne Rose, Muriel Hilaire, persisted in pretending that Hope Logan was merely a user in the Forrester Creations design studio, but Hope once more defended her relationship with Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, and cautioned Daphne to avoid her guy. Zend Forrester Dominguez, Delon de Metz, who suspected Carter of having feelings for Daphne, questioned Carter about her intention to return to Paris. Carter later joined the dispute in the design office, claiming to adore Hope. At that point, Hope put Carter under pressure to tell Daphne to go to Paris. Finn acknowledged at the Cliff House that he couldn't simply put Luna out of his mind and stop talking about her. Finn sought to explain his position to Steffy since he felt sorry for her because it was his daughter. Steffy became agitated, but when Finn revealed that Luna was no longer incarcerated, things truly went south. Finn provided information on how he learned that Luna was under house arrest at Bill Spencer's estate. Finn talked about the touching moments that followed his admission that he had told Luna about her father. Steffy tried to let Finn understand his daughter for who she truly was by describing how aloof Luna had been during her ordeal of captivity. Steffy felt it was time to march over to Bill's apartment and have a confrontation over all of this, even though Finn objected. Luna then told Bill that he was her biological father and that Finn had visited. Bill lost it and threatened to put Luna back in jail if Finn blabbed. Luna seemed certain that she still possessed goodness and had the potential to improve herself now that she was aware that she was Finn's daughter. Later, Steffy stormed through the mansion door and told Luna that she would not get away with this. Steffy refused to listen to Luna's attempts at explanation and apology. Steffy encouraged her to forget about Finn after insisting that Luna would be imprisoned for the rest of her life. Steffy insisted that Luna would never see Finn again because, in her opinion, Luna didn't have a father. Don't miss any of the surprises that lie ahead, as our B&B predictions indicate that even more chaos will soon break out at the Spencer estate. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy's breakdown will go on and pave the way for some unexpected scenes. The drama from March 10th to 14th has been nothing short of seismic, as Carter must face a life-altering ultimatum from Ridge and Eric. Steffy's ambitious plan falls apart in a series of unanticipated complications, and Sheila delivers a bombshell of huge news that promises to redefine loyalties and reshape destinies across the Forrester dynasty. This has left the corridors of Forrester Creations trembling with tension and uncertainty. Despite Hope's passionate pleas and well-defined expectations for commitment and transparency, Carter chooses to forge his own path, defying her attempts to control him with a boldness that not only reveals the cracks in their relationship but also sends shockwaves through the boardroom where every decision is weighed against the legacy of the family empire. Carter's defiant stance becomes the spark that ignites a chain reaction of emotions and power plays in the middle of this chaos. Ridge, the unwavering defender of tradition and family honor, and Eric, the unrelenting strategist with an unyielding vision of corporate survival, come together to deliver an ultimatum that leaves Carter with no room for excuses as his actions reveal a man unwilling to be bound by promises made in vulnerable moments. He must either change his ways and align his behavior with the high standards of the Forrester name or risk being fired, his future in the company hanging by a thread. This reality highlights the harsh reality that loyalty is currency in this brutal world and that failing to live up to expectations can have disastrous results. Meanwhile, in an equally charged subplot that epitomizes the personal cost of these corporate machinations, Steffy has meticulously crafted a plan intended to secure her place at the helm of the family's legacy, a plan that promised to neutralize adversaries, consolidate power, and ensure a future where her vision of honor and integrity would prevail over the corrosive influence of deceit. But as the week unfolds, her intricate strategy unexpectedly flops, unraveling in a spectacular display of miscalculation and unforeseen resistance that leaves her reeling with the bitter realization that even the most well-thought-out plans are vulnerable in a landscape where shifting allegiances and hidden agendas lurk behind every corner. This failure not only undermines her personal authority but also deepens the fissures within the family, as those who once rallied around her now question whether her approach has gone too far or missed the mark entirely, throwing the delicate balance of power into disarray and forcing her to confront the possibility that her relentless pursuit of control may have, inadvertently, sown the seeds of her own undoing. Sheila's announcement, a revelation so monumental that it promises to upend long-held assumptions and rewrite the rules of engagement among the Forrester elite, casts a long shadow over the already turbulent events of the week and adds a new, unpredictable variable to the mix. Amidst this internal turmoil and external pressure, Sheila emerges with huge news that reverberates through the established order like an earthquake. As rumors of this groundbreaking news spread through the corridors, both allies and adversaries are forced to re-evaluate their positions and come to terms with the stark reality that nothing in this world is ever permanent, and that the sands upon which their legacies are built can shift in an instant, leaving them to grapple with the promise of redemption and the threat of irreversible loss. The scene is set for a profound reckoning as these three stories converge: Carter's flagrant disobedience of Hope, which is representative of his internal conflict between his personal ambition and his duty of loyalty, collides with the breakdown of Steffy's meticulously planned strategy, which, in its failure, exposes the flaws and dangers of a strategy based on idealistic visions of unity and control. Sheila's shocking revelation further complicates matters by forcing all of the characters to face the harsh reality that, in the high-stakes world of Forrester Creations, corporate power and personal relationships are inextricably linked, with decisions determining their fates leaving no room for compromises or half-truths. Every whispered word and every measured glance now carries the weight of fate in the tense private conversations, the hushed boardroom meetings, and the charged atmosphere of public confrontations, Carter's refusal to conform not only reveals the deep cracks in his own character but also forces a re-evaluation of the commitments he once made, while Steffy's faltering strategy serves as a stark reminder that human ambition and miscalculation can undo even the most formidable forces. Sheila's momentous announcement serves as the impending transformation, one that threatens to either mend the broken bonds of loyalty or drive a final wedge between family members whose fates have long been intertwined with the fortunes of an empire built on both wealth and brittle trust. Power is both a privilege and a burden, and the cost of defiance, failure, and betrayal is measured not only in the loss of personal honor but also in the potential disintegration of an empire that has endured innumerable storms. As the week comes to an end, the legacy of these intertwined events looms large over the future of the Forrester dynasty. Every choice made, every alliance formed or broken, and every promise broken contributes to a tapestry of intrigue that challenges the very essence of what it means to be a part of this legendary family. The story ultimately captures the ageless conflict between ambition and loyalty, between the unrelenting pursuit of individual goals and the burden of a collective legacy, in the dramatic collision of Carter's defiance, Steffy's strategic misfire, and Sheila's groundbreaking news. It leaves viewers wondering whether redemption is possible in a world where every decision is dangerous and every act of defiance can change the course of history, creating a future where the only thing that is certain is that the path forward will be paved with the remains of broken illusions, intense encounters, and the unwavering will of those who dare to challenge the status quo in the name of truth, honor, and the eternal promise of change. In Hope's fight and Eric's ultimatum, a titanic struggle between a single woman's fierce determination and the ruthless, icy calculus of corporate power is depicted. This conflict echoes through every hallway of the Forrester empire and leaves a lasting impression on the hearts and minds of everyone who has long traversed its perilous waters. Hope, whose unwavering quest for justice and truth has been refined over years of dealing with betrayal and the painful sting of broken promises, is at the center of this storm. She is forced to confront the forces that have tried to undermine not only her own integrity but also the foundation of the legacy she has worked so hard to defend. In a series of intense encounters that have left no detail unexplored, Hope fights back against those who have repeatedly attempted to manipulate, deceive, and coerce her into submission. She refuses to let the destructive influence of self-serving ambitions determine her life or the future of Forrester creations. The weight of her personal experiences, a mix of suffering, defiance, and an unwavering conviction that the truth, no matter how harsh or inconvenient, must be released if there is any chance of healing and redemption, is weighed down in every word she says during these moments. It is this fierce resolve that has brought her to prominence as the champion of not only her own values but also the honor of those who have been disenfranchised by the unrelenting pursuit of wealth and power, a pursuit that has all too frequently left wounds on the souls of those who dared to hope for a more compassionate and honest world. Eric stands in stark contrast to Hope's fervent battle, as he has delivered his ultimatum with a precision and coldness characteristic of a man who has spent decades perfecting the art of corporate warfare, where every decision is evaluated in terms of risk, reward, and the potential to either consolidate power or dismantle long-standing alliances. Eric's ultimatum is not just a threat, but a calculated demand that serves as a wake-up call and a final, uncompromising directive to everyone who has veered from the path of accountability. Those in the Forrester circle must either align their actions with the strict, unyielding standards that have been the cornerstone of the family's legacy, or face consequences so severe that the very idea of compromise is condemned. In the sterile, unforgiving setting of the boardroom, where every gesture is examined and every pause is weighed against years of tradition, his words sliced through the atmosphere like a finely sharpened scalpel, compelling even the most reluctant to admit that the days of unbridled behavior and personal indulgence are over. In a world where failure is measured not only in lost profits but also in the breakdown of trust and the severing of the familial ties that have long been the real currency of the Forrester empire, the time for excuses is long gone. The stage is set for a dramatic reckoning that promises to reshape the future of Forrester creations and redefine the very essence of what it means to be part of a legacy built on both ambition and honor as these two forces collide, Hope's fervent, almost desperate fight for truth and dignity and Eric's brutal, uncompromising ultimatum that leaves no room for ambiguity or leniency. This turbulent story, in which personal suffering is inextricably linked to the high-stakes world of corporate maneuvering, where the lines between love, loyalty, and self-interest blur in the face of overwhelming pressure and mounting scrutiny, is made more complex by every whispered conversation in the shadowed hallways, every covert glance exchanged in private moments of despair, and every public declaration of defiance. It is a fight that is as much about reclaiming her own identity as it is about holding those responsible for past transgressions accountable for their actions. It is a battle that demands nothing less than the full measure of her strength and a willingness to sacrifice everything for the sake of truth and justice. Hope's fight, which is characterized by moments of explosive determination and raw vulnerability, is portrayed as a beacon of resistance against a tide of cynicism and manipulation that has too long threatened to drown the genuine human connection that is at the heart of the Forrester legacy. Her fight against those who have attempted to silence her voice is not just a personal grudge, rather, it is a stark reminder to everyone who has endured silent suffering at the hands of systemic betrayal that enough is enough and that a new era of covert manipulation and hidden agendas must be replaced by one characterized by openness, respect, and an unwavering commitment to doing what is right, no matter the personal cost. Eric's ultimatum, on the other hand, stands as a stark contrast to Hope's passionate rebellion because of its cold logic and uncompromising demand for order. It represents the harsh, often brutal realities of a world where power is upheld through discipline, sacrifice, and the relentless, unforgiving pursuit of efficiency, even if that pursuit comes at the expense of empathy and personal connection. Eric delivers his ultimatum with the conviction that the Forrester Empire's survival, and, by extension, the legacy of those who built it, depends on the eradication of weaknesses, the eradication of behavior that endangers, and the imposition of a regime where every action is held to an exacting standard of accountability, leaving no room for the soft vulnerabilities that have long been exploited by those who seek to undermine the order for their own gain. Every choice, every instance of defiance or compliance, adds to a larger tapestry of events that will determine whether the Forrester dynasty emerges from this crucible stronger and more united, or fractured beyond repair by the twin forces of ambition and betrayal. As the tension between these two ideological forces intensifies, the internal struggles of individual characters become inextricably linked to the larger, almost existential conflict that now defines the Forrester world, a conflict where the promise of personal redemption is weighed against the icy, uncompromising demands of legacy. Hope's declarations of independence and her unwavering insistence on reclaiming the values that have been undermined by years of deception resonate with a cathartic and revolutionary force in a series of heart-stopping scenes that are played out with cinematic intensity. These scenes inspire not only those who have experienced the sting of injustice but also those who have long held a quiet hope for a future where honesty triumphs over duplicity and where the bonds of loyalty are strengthened rather than eroded by the trials of time. As a reminder that in this harsh world, the cost of failure is measured not in brief moments of regret but rather in the permanent, frequently irreversible fractures that can destroy a legacy built on generations of trust, sacrifice, and shared ambition. Eric's ultimatum echoes through the corridors of Forrester creations like an uncompromising decree. The main plot becomes clear as the boardroom meetings turn into arenas for ideological dominance and character conflicts expose the deep-seated wounds of past betrayals. The Forrester saga revolves around the struggle between the forces of compassion and the unrelenting drive for order, between the desire to build real connections and the icy calculus of power. This struggle will ultimately determine whether the family can survive the storm of conflicting values and enter a new era marked by unity, integrity, and the unbreakable strength of the human spirit. Ultimately, the conflict between Hope's fight and Eric's ultimatum is not just a clash of personalities, rather, it is a microcosm of the larger, timeless struggle between the principles of love and honor and the brutal demands of survival in a world where every secret, betrayal, and whispered promise has the power to either elevate or destroy the legacy of those who dare to hope for a better tomorrow. It is a testament to the fact that, even in the darkest moments of conflict, the courage to stand up for what is right can illuminate the way toward redemption, and that the human heart's resilience, when put to the test by the unrelenting forces of ambition and deceit, has the power to reshape destinies and create a future where the true measure of success is not found in the accumulation of wealth or power, but in the unwavering commitment to live a life of truth, loyalty, and unwavering hope.